going on, Jerome's? So I gotta get me some Winona State gear. Like I'm surprised that I haven't been sent any. Because the Harvard of the Midwest. Am I the most famous Winona State alum? Probably not, right? But it's gotta be close. I don't know, man. Anyways, but I need that gear for specific moments like this, so I could talk ish about fellow NSIC alum Adam, Jerome, Ezekiel Thielen. So, this offseason, it's been bandied about, right? So bring Thielen home. He's not going to get the time of day in Carolina, blah, blah, blah. Now, we Minnesotans, we love the homecoming story, like, Randy Moss in 2010, Kevin Garnett coming back for the Wolves, Torrey Hunter, etc. And, Thielen, native son, legend, Detroit Lakes go crazy, blah, Mankato State University Community College. Ended with a little bit of acrimony, except like you never have a smooth landing with former legends. It just happens. But, signed with Carolina, got the bag, and all that stuff. But there are some things lining up where it could behoove the Vikings to indeed bring Adam Thielen home. Number one, working out here in the Twin Cities Metro, J. McCarthy, and getting some work in, ingratiating himself with the future franchise quarterback for the Vikings. So it's very beautiful stuff. And also, the fact that Thielen last year at 33 years young, proved that he still has some game. And he and Bryce Young, a lot of time in catch-up mode. He put up 101,000 season with 4 touchdowns, and proved that he could still do a little something, even at an advanced age. And also, as we said, the Panthers, they went hard in the paint at receiver, trading for Deontay Johnson from the Steelers, trading up and drafting Xavier Leggett in the first round. Also, Mingo is there, maybe Terrace Marshall Jr. The third guy from that former LSU 2019 team behind Chase, Jefferson, and who's the third guy? Oh, yeah, Terrace Marshall Jr. Hopefully, they're banking on youth. And also, ISM is there, too. It's kind of funny, man. But Thielen could be the odd man out in terms of getting that work. But what complicates things is the previous regime gave Thielen significant guaranteed money in year 2 of his contract. $4.5 million of his $5.5 million base salary is guaranteed this season, whether he's on the Panthers or not. And, of course, the number one factor that could bring Adam Thielen back to the Vikings is the situation with Jordan Addison, charged with alleged DUI over the weekend. Just second off season in a row, very poor choices by Addison, and especially a week after Kyrie Jackson. Just rough, just rough, man. But could it force the Vikings' hand to look at other options at the wide receiver position for a myriad of reasons? But could Thielen reunite with Justin friggin' Jefferson and go from there, right? So a couple factors here. Thielen's red zone prowess was missed in 2023. It really just was, and it felt like the Vikings offense was extremely inefficient in the red area, both running and throwing the ball. And plus, Thielen, even like his last couple years with the Vikings, when he wasn't putting up monster numbers, he was still an assassin in the red zone. Just something about that veteran prowess, just being able to get open in a phone booth. It's beautiful, man. Number 19 proved he still has a little something like we mentioned, 100 and 1,000 season at age 33, going to be 34 in August. That's certainly nothing to sneeze at. Plus, the Vikings could be without Hockenson to begin the season, could potentially start on the PUP list. Plus, Addison could be suspended, whether by the league, whether by the team. The team doesn't necessarily have to wait for due process to play out. The league tends to do that when it comes to suspensions, when it comes to alcohol-related incidents. But a lot of things are up in the air with Addison to begin the season. Plus, Thielen already knows the Kevin O'Connell offense was in 2022, plus building that relationship with J.J. McCarthy, even though McCarthy may not even be the starter this year. Plus, the thing about jettisoning a lot of the older veterans and having one of the youngest teams in the league is that there's something to be said about that older veteran leadership. And Thielen would bring that to the wide receiver room. He would bring that to the locker room. And the Vikings certainly could use it at a time like this where Addison, second offseason row, doing something stupid, as well as obviously what happened with Kyrie Jackson. That tragedy. And the Vikings wide receiver room, it's been a topic of conversation behind Jefferson and Addison, like who's wide receiver 3 and who's really going to step up. Now, I think it's going to be an amalgamation of a couple of guys, probably Powell, Naylor, Tristan Jackson, etc. But Thielen could come in as a Hey, Thielen, if you're going to be a wide receiver 3 or 4, why not do it in Minnesota versus Carolina? You're going to get paid either way. But here's what we propose. So the Panthers are actually pretty up against it when it comes to the salary cap. They got about $6 million in cap space this year. So the Vikings not going to offer a ton because I actually think that the Panthers are probably going to cut Adam Thielen at the end of the day. Basically for that cap space, because even though he's got guaranteed money, they can save $1 million by cutting him, and also they'll claw back a little something for whatever team signs him in offset money. So the Vikings would send a 2025 fifth-round pick in a swap for Carolina's 2025 sixth-round pick. So the Vikings are already short on picks next year. They don't give up anything of note. They just move down on one of the selections. The Vikings would pay Thielen's $5.5 million salary. They have the cap space to do that. And then Carolina would save $8.25 million in cap. Now, you may be asking yourself, why trade for him versus just waiting for the Panthers to cut him and then sign him for the league minimum? Well, even though Thielen, he knows the offense and his experience, I think that him having a training camp in preseason with Darnold/McCarthy would be good for number 19 as a bit of a refresher. And also, I mean, the team needs the leadership now, and they're in a very precarious situation, both with the Kyrie Jackson incident as well as what's going on with Jordan Addison. I mean, this team, I respect the young leadership on this team. I respect Justin Jefferson, but a little bit extra certainly couldn't help. Plus, the fact that Thielen could certainly contribute on the field, especially in the red zone, I think that does make sense. So, what started out as like a joke and a meme during the offseason is now, it certainly has some merit. So, the Vikings should certainly look into potentially bringing Adam, Jerome, Ezekiel Thielen home. But your thoughts are thoughts. Is it time? The king has returned. No. You guys know what to do. Skull, production value.